Morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning. To those who have registered, please bear with us. We'll give a minute or two for individuals to join us on the call. And then for those who are joining via Office of the President and Vice President's Facebook Live, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning. Again, we're just give a minute or two for individuals to jump on the call. Definitely appreciate your patience. Okay, so for those individuals who have registered and will be joining us via Zoom, just some quick housekeeping rules. Again, this is being conducted in a Zoom webinar fashion. So as an attendee, you will not have your camera or your microphone available to you. However, you're more than welcome to utilize the chat within the Zoom platform to provide any salutations, reach out to us with any questions that you may have. In addition to that, we have the Q&A feature available for those joining via Zoom. Please pose all questions there, and should we have time, we will address them during this particular webinar. Otherwise, we will provide a response via email. In addition to that, this session is being recorded. And again, it is also being streamed live via the Office of the President and Vice President's Facebook page as well. So we definitely appreciate you joining us. We have over 250 individuals registered for today's webinar. In addition to that, we have some individuals joining us live here. Again, my name is Rafael Bigay, Public Information Officer with the Navajo Nation Division of Human Resources. Again, this is our virtual Nanit'In webinar series hosted in collaboration with Office of the President and Vice President, as well as Staff Development and Training Department. And so I think we've got a good hold on where everyone's at. I know that we have everyone has a busy schedule, so we'll just go ahead and get started. Thank you very much and welcome, and thank you for joining us this morning. To start us off, I'll go ahead and introduce Shar Kruger, who is the Training Manager for Staff Development and Training Department, who will offer a brief welcome and introduction. Shar, the floor is yours.
Good morning. How is everybody? I'm seeing over 110 participants. Ado yat eentje de schneedel le she Shar Kruger in she. Ado on the enschlinige eet goed eaten in schneedel kia ani e bashishin. Toch an e da she che na kaid ne da shenelle could a sanschle. Ado Staff Development Training Department aja national training manager should it know aja a large national ako de benebi do that is not agi a ha kidini do lechto tlashi Hilta edo da tlashi do dalnishende yeah, he did fourth webinar series. This is our fourth one that we're doing. So we're very appreciative of all those that have come in and be in attendance for all four of them. Even if you just attend at one, we appreciate that. And continue to, check our website at Staff Development and Training Department. It is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And a couple of weeks ago, we did our administrative week for the whole entire week. We were able to, squeeze in a couple of topics regarding National Mental Health Awareness. And so I just want to extend my appreciation to the Office of President's and Vice President's Office, and then, of course, to Division of Human Resources, and Dr. Fowler, as well as Raphael, and then Eli, for always assisting and being supportive of initiatives that we bring forth. And so please just visit our website, which is at, Staff Development and Training Department. And then I also, last but not least, I also want to congratulate all the graduates that are have either already graduated or are going to be graduating. So we wish you a lot of good success in the future, and we ask that you guys all take care of yourself. And with that, I want to turn it back over to Ralph. And thank you, and enjoy the presentation today, which is motivation and understanding techniques.
Thank you very much for that, Shar. And with that, we'll go ahead and keep this moving along. And it is our pleasure to have the support as well as the encouraging words from leadership this morning. So with that, I'd like to introduce Now the Nation President Jonathan Nez, who is joining us this morning and who will provide some words of encouragement in reference to motivation and understanding techniques, as well as in support of National Mental Health Awareness Month for today's presentation. Sir?
Clean off the camera there. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Shar. And thank you to Director Dr. Perfilia Fowler. Obviously, you see me, we're on the road here. We're headed to an event in Low Mountain. It is a community school for a promotion. And so what we want to say here today is to all the 100 plus participants, we've been having these presentations, to give you professional knowledge or additional tools for your workplace, being all the way from harassment to customer service, and now today motivation and understanding techniques. Being a student of public administration, I used to study a lot of these techniques in my master's program in public administration, tribal management. These are information that can help with productivity, but these types of techniques can also help at the home in managing your home, your children, your grandchildren, your family as well. And one of the things too is to identify issues among your peers, your colleagues, those that are in those offices, and to get them help if they need it. Of course, as parents, we can identify if our grandchild is having some issues, right? The same thing goes in the workforce. And let's just not ignore it or think, it's none of my business. Not. It's important for the overall health of the workforce. And so these are techniques that can be used holistically with your family and in your organization. So again, I appreciate Dr. Fowler and the Division of Human Resource team for putting these on. And I'm sure there's going to be more, because every presentation there's more interest in these talks, these discussions. And at the end of the day, in the workforce, Winston, don't Janagoshi na Anishto Lesh Nasco. So Eben Nachi Ecuador Hanet Dadil Nishi Danzano, Aja Division of Human Resources, has Ajado Dr. Fowler, Tziladain Han Linigi for Human Resources by Henitsen. Jo here or Intoni na Antin Abol Town. Ein Junago ein da Anishto Lesh. Ados ka nature to Lesh. Jo Nihe don an Hide da date in the year. Ajin Handas, Das Nashigin Avo Nation government. Nihik ein Hinaba a Dale Nash. ado jo biche yelti odo not ado jo biche yadash ti ashwan in Navajo Nation employees khata e yitanet lindo e jo na na alwo do efkishin dalnish efkishin dalnish do left naso shikero shna so even nach eo yat e hidini do left. This is Jonathan Nez, president. Sheen Shino Tratnesane Bashin Twidichini Dashache Twachini Dashanella. As I mentioned in Navajo, we use a different approach to well-being, and that's the Navajo wellness model. And you'll hear much about that, and also helping productivity in the workforce or even at home, motivation. And to understand these techniques can go a long way into professional growth, professional development. So have a good seminar, a good presentation, and we look forward to seeing these tools, these techniques in action in our workforce and even at home. So thank you so much. God bless you. And I'll turn the time back over to Raphael and Dr. Fowler and the Division of Human Resource team. Appreciate the time to say a few words. So take care. Wear your mask. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, sir. We definitely appreciate you taking the time to offer those encouraging words and joining us this morning. And so without further ado, we'll go ahead and move forward with today's presentation by the Division of Human Resources Director, Dr. Perfilia Fowler, who will provide a presentation on motivation and understanding techniques. Dr. Fowler, the floor is yours.
Yat Shikado Shidne, Ade had that so gizzy. Shas Twi Suzani, Ado Shitek, Doshik, Adon Dasnishido, Dasnishne, that is not Ido, that so gizzy. Ich had Hidini or less Kodosh edge. My Ideshkish in Schlant for the cheating Bashashin, Ado Tapa Edashachebo, Ash Edashanale, Totus Ahol Yere, Ade Chishike, Koyat Enan Hidish Nido, less deeds Dingone, Edine, Kodija Baya that needs ya motivation and understanding techniques. Jo Isheha e all yet the Nikajo, Johashin Sako Ohonetle, Nike Ishin Business long do Ado Slash Yugo Bessingen Lienshiko, Ado Hajo Ikish eating, do Hajo Bikish eating, Joha Ishin Halek es a lago, Ahot. Do high different that do non nishbech with all zino. Business long ado which what we ha ish ebin na do bohne glinda. Dik out angel ho a ishin na sahada oyodo beni glinda. Ado beso she stop na isna. Jo atshone ike yon a conde. Ado hanat ani ho no do kisits ado ish eat him. Ya at do adon jil nishido big ish eat him. Ya at jo that ishin kodo banahashnet dole. Ako big o tito naskoshi ben not tindole. Ashikedo shidne. Kodoshin hado just again like to thank you to make known that thank you to all our listeners out there in the Facebook world, in the Zoom, and this is a kind of the new norm of presenting. So I just want you all to thank you for listening, tuning in. And today's topics are motivation and understanding technique. As your Division Director of Human Resources, we want to continue to provide tools, the different mechanism that we feel that is best practice within your organization, not just in government. You know, all these teachings can also be done from the home. So today I hope to motivate you more to come to work, to do what you love to do, to attend to some of the passions that you have. So I hope that I will motivate you. So thank you. Let's go ahead and get started. So I want to start off with this by Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins has been one of my mentors several years back, going through my associate bachelor's degree, master's degree. And one thing that he says is the secret of success is learning how to use pain and pleasure. Instead of having pain and pleasure use you. If you do that, you're in control of your life. If you don't, life controls you. Hashilsako, Yinita, Chenata, Jot Anes, Gila, she had Jane had seats in the nest gecko. Adoha Ishi e yo jotneha, she bach was Hojoda, Skinland lay the more yajet or legend that the meets and Jo e an hin take Casey, be hadet at a co. Dear Hajit Nahui Nago, o Ajako, into the queso. If you do that, you're in control of your life. Legends or case. Could you nago na yej nago ajako nahalokle. Again, the secret of success is learning how to use pain and pleasure. If you do that, you're in control of your life. And if you don't, life controls you. Then there are mechanics of life works. You know, you have a mechanic technician. They have all kinds of tools to put things together. You know, as an individual, you have a mechanic within your body. Your definition creates your beliefs. You know, but you as an individual, what is your definition? Your definition creates your belief. I believe I can do it. I believe I can achieve this goal. Your beliefs create thoughts and attract situations into your life. Your thoughts and situation cause you to act or react. Haishi bechanna denesi jinzo batisto kosto bantisto kos. What are a dos minle naste batizo koso. Ado bishtil nish kehona on. Dila aste nila aten ado beshit naham ada. If I have my mechanics in life, I have no excuse but to achieve this goal that I have. It's my belief. I can conceive it, I can believe in it, and then I can achieve it. So I ishi baz to the kosi ite shlief jinza. Adonan nishalak esala. 8 o'clock nan data hot nido ya. Apeno your schedule times at 8 o'clock. Not day done hit that ne. Ado ye se bibik at the hakens adana nadole. Se bibik at has kenza e kwa ya in yadole. Jo e all ye business. You come to work at 7:45. We know you're ready. We know you're energized. And that's, you're going to accomplish a goal today. Coming in at 7:45, you go to work at 8. And then I know that we have some of us that have a mechanic that come in like 8:30. Yeah, I'll be okay. And I know I'm going to work through lunch. So everybody's different. I'm not saying if you have an 8 to 5 schedule, you know, how do you motivate yourself? Because you all this thought that comes through your mind. There's people that observe you, that observe your mechanics in your life, that where you work. This is a person that was really disciplined. When you enter into this world, you have been making decisions each day. about what you define of being pleasurable and what you define as being painful. Nothing was it now some cotton hit elia. Ha ishi il any batidity cause it is ni. Ada hat ishi eto yat eta don't hitness good. Don't hit hat ida nail. Jo I don't nothing hit elia then hahalo nahanilia. But then it's up to us to make these decisions. We know what's defined as being pleasurable. Bini, glido, belani, ano, bichakaini, nido, nle belat, tsikos. Nana koden edeno ahid holo. Di e ko honeske, jidako da kodaneske, hajada, nash nshwadota. We know that that mechanic is not working and it's in pain, right? So e ahishne. Once you make these decisions, you file them away and move along with your life. And everything comes upon in life gets filtered through those beliefs and they become habits. Do ba ako jilyango, jo e kojin na ye ejia. Do ba ako jilyango, ado na nishta a za ba tito koso. Jo e kojin na ai wala. Nana koje e na nishi business. You really enjoy your job. You want to get there early. You want to leave late. You want to get as much done. But over here, vice versa. It's just another day, another penny that I and I'm not appreciated, I'm not being praised, people don't thank me. So you have these, both of them. But what happens at the end of the day is everything gets into your mind, into your thoughts, and it builds up. It becomes a habit. Oyo to khatana dahile ako ajko o chombe honetle a leko nashta a kanlede on a queta ben yelchil potla a burrito dot nan a could 8:30 that I nashta and that becomes a habit. Ako kojana nisha e koja all key inkloya e aftishne a the ho what the ahananat. So when you and it's the same at home, we have our own home mechanics. I hope a lot of you had breakfast at home this morning. And when you make that breakfast, as is told to us, breakfast is the important meal of the day. So when that breakfast is made, and as women, we want to make sure we feed everybody. We get to us last, right? Everybody eats, and then everybody, when everybody's done eating, as a woman, it is our responsibility. So we don't just leave the dishes unwashed and go to work. And there's a teachings with that. And my mechanic at work is never to eat in paper plates. Next, stop avoiding yourself. What you resist persists. By Carl Hung. What you resist persists. Anything you avoid or put off will just get bigger and louder. If you are having a hard time finding your motivation, that is and of itself is trying to teach you something. You cannot avoid life. We have one life to live and should live to the fullest. Nothing has tweedon his zani to the ashate ne in le. Ado e naste Yego be na iti to le be eta holia. Ja na kantis at be eta holia. Don jono a sona ben don ni ne ko na nado le. Ba holia ba hasti. Jutan hit on need anon le haja she na hanta huist it the bahas and the edo yen hit. You cannot avoid personal responsibility. Ha ishin halak eselani. Hachonne, Hachina, Hatoke, Hanalike, it is dealt itle, a son and needlini, then Lenny do Ahota, Barchina, Betoke, Benalike, Ado Nihil Hadaj Jewolo, Betray Jewolo, Ado e Yan Himan Hije, Adon Beja Ad Needlini, Badan Needlini, Edo Taholo, E Ad it the need it, E Donihir. Nige tonas kango anon le nige na kloshi nige tata ake nige det jo after it is that you can't avoid that personal responsibility. I couldn't avoid sharing and over the weekend and that was part of our responsibility. On le shi do le sha do le adon needs O anhit ilwado, we had to get our own shearing scissors. Do ojaleho, do ojdedelti o sachabat alo, ahwa hachit na huit nase, dan hit on ni. Adok akit eliej nada hadeshish ahananat, do nai do lita an edili, an benye, kwa na hasan bakanin elia, do eche da pata. If something is there, it is there for a reason. It is a signal. Hey, sure, do something about it. Ha'ida da kwa'ati zay da konsha hadato siltozo. Hey, sure, endi le. Let just a bit le na hokon le an na samba akolia. Oshnel edo bi gahochishn ya e koden din de nehata asigen. Sure, e la hot ela. Ado heda da baja gaho. Ad the she trashes nalot here the house at she don't have not. Reda da Hera, Cotrobaja, a weta batacha, a bata bachil. The chinde a castle that attache yash a wedge no. Ado qua, but Trotabaja car a weta. Do a just ingo, do a geleho, a bis, or aha to the door cost. So ela hotela do ba atanda do ba huint ida jo hotehi that oh you go to hanne could one thing that I learned is that deeds are within our Navajo basket a way that children claw jo e bata deeds are be net on atne do a jelego e belhatso ni leya oh you that if you avoid by procrastinating, it does become a burden. Anle not kiskanda anda analysis deshli. Ado anle not kitamo not still the other the anda editorial other and that had it okay. Jeno e o you put a burden on an individual or even on yourself. And if you don't get to work, let's say you call in. And you have an office full of maybe like 30, 20 people. And if you call in, understand that you also place a burden on the other employees to do some of your tasks. Then we get into the thinking pattern. Need. Case not ina besit needs and doctor. Any case nasnet. Ado 18 samba cotton hit elia. Adon tochil, adon ditze, adon lent a glad, child hilt and the hatle, adon then say, Johodat, eyes, nin here what on, and see case. A son jelon, the nejelon, ishi batus the cost, adon which the ahdi it was neat, ebe in nado le, adon le nas, tui sani, the aston ebe sit needs and on le. Halan and Quanit Nachinin, he token, he nalike, ye edat edole, jo e hutza. Ado quadet belaganek, et yaha ishi, they sleep needs in it. I want to accomplish my goal. but I can't because I don't have the money that I deserve. Or you can have somebody that says, because I'm overweight, because I look back at my life with regrets. But you want to change that around to where you want to accomplish this by making enough money. We have to get creative. We can't just depend on our employer to expect us to give us an increase every quarter or every year or COLA increase. We have to get creative. That means at home, we can start weaving, we could start making certain things, doing some motivational things for ourselves at home. Yo tate ish. Aro pari da ate la akona ha alchin o you comparito banda hani. They're creative. They may have a job, but they have somebody at home that's getting creative and making burritos and selling it. And so that family is becoming creative. So we have to find ways to make money and don't just let it come to you. And grandma and grandpa would say, if you want something, you work hard for it. You get creative. You learn how to make money. Don't let it come to you. You go and get it yourself. There's so much out there, but with that creativity is coming from us, and make that part of your thinking pattern. Don't look at it as you being overweight. Look at it as that you have an amazing body. Then so it was constant. Filling my dreams with joy and abundance. Ashi inni ilkida ewinst and ha ishi jo ha ishi ijil ine dobi gata yilela. So you want to fill your dream with joy. Opishnet lido letina papishnet lido papa hetsin sela. O was hojon go to art at the army han hit need hito ani ene het anti at the whole at the. So which is holding you back? Take a look at this. Are you fearful of this? Which of these are holding you back? Are you fear of failure? Fear of rejection? Fear of being not good enough? Fear of the unknown? Fear of change, the big C, the knia. Gesh e oyo benatje bitchit nitne. Nitje na nesto wat il enido ha ishi panetai ha ishe oyo nihi yitnatse nihi tsentekes yinantsenalkle. I used to say, okay, I'm most fearful of what can happen. What is the worst that can happen? And what if? So when I'm driving, if I'm going quite a ways to Albuquerque or down to Phoenix, and I'm always thinking way ahead, I just hope nobody crazy or a drunk driver doesn't come straight at me. And what's the worst that can happen? And people say you're not supposed to think like that, but the worst that can happen is, me not coming home. That could be worse. So I start asking myself, what if this happens? So I go to work today and my question to myself is, what if? And that happened to me this morning. What if my staff does not send out this link? What if? So I need to make sure that I'm prepared and I have a backup system that's ready to play. So all this what if, we weren't ready for the pandemic. That's another good example. We weren't ready for the pandemic. And we were at some point fearful of the unknown. What is this going to do to us? So when you're going somewhere, you're going to do something, what is the worst thing that can happen? What if this happens? Store go that was like this. You're just going over to the store and you ask yourself, what if somebody just gets right in front of me? What's going to happen to my vehicle? Do I have insurance? Do I have another reliable vehicle at home? ACI, Sani, Alanaja, and so case, those were some of the teachings that, I'll admit I was one of those that wasn't a really good listener. I just, oh man, now what? And to this day, I was like, man, those teachings were for a purpose and for a reason, as I stated earlier. Acknowledge your fears. Acknowledge it, but run toward it, or let it continue to haunt you. It's just you just run at it and say, and how we get over this? Yes, we have different beliefs, different upbringing. We some of us practice the traditional medicine. We have Native American church, we have Christianity. So it's different, but we all have to respect and treat one another the same. So there's no way around it, but to educate and to help out one another. More focus on what we don't want, and should be focusing on what we want. Breakfast da jiyanda, ado koja TV da ano da ya, ado news da halkio, aja point ishi for ich aile kojin juno jiyane khatan yidil kes yilin. So we lack the motivation because we're more focused on what we don't want. When you turn on the news in the morning, news is always bad news. So we're like, okay, we're having a really nice, hot, warm meal for breakfast. But then you turn on the news, it's like, there goes a damper. It really puts on the bad stuff onto your meal. So the best thing to do is turn off that news and focus on your meal. Vision in your mind. Vision in your mind, the outcome you want to see. Visualize the complete product and the completed task in your mind. When you visualize and get the feeling of your accomplishment, this will motivate you. It's a motivation mechanism to where if you want to think that you're going to think about getting it done, that's going to motivate you to get it done. And then you're going to have a more of a productive day. Setting your priorities. Setting priorities. Is your goal a priority? Is it realistic? Ask yourself these questions, because sometimes our supervisor will say, well, what's your goal? And then you have to ask yourself, if I'm going to say this goal, is it realistic? Can it be done, or it can't be? Or is it going to get just all convoluted? Or the never so those are the questions that you will ask. Are you eating? Are you sleeping? Out of breathing your goal. Are you eating? Are you sleeping and breathing in your goal? Are you doing this? Maybe some of us didn't eat breakfast this morning and we're looking forward to lunch. And we're looking for maybe something that's motivating us is something to look forward to for Friday or Saturday. what our weekend's going to be. But most importantly, breathing in your goal, breathing what you want to do, want to accomplish, not just this week, not just this month, years, 10, 5, 15 years down the road, you want to breathe in that goal. You want to plan something, you want to accomplish it, and breathing it in is the most important part. And when you're at work during the day, we tell you to pray morning, noon, and afternoon, but try this, try breathing. Everybody, let's take a deep breath. Let's do 4 times, all of us, a little exercise. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, how did you feel? You felt better, right? And if you do that 3 to 4 times a day, breathing in what your goal, and a lot of us were required to wear our masks. Breathe it in. I know some of us, we walk during our breaks, but do stop and do some deep breathing. Are you starting your mornings the right way? Satoshi Nadi, what Nana was that said that's it in the you know, that's what's Nadi na, yeah, the lanzo, you know, it's just more like start it off the right way. Always be positive. If your goal are just a want, a nice thing that you are sort of interested in, not really sure, then you are in big trouble. So you want to make sure that it's not all about just a want. You just, I don't know, it's kind of sort of, maybe, I don't know. You know, make a commitment to make it a priority, and surround yourself with positive people who will support you. We have a lot of people that will support you as an individual. Oh, you nahan chi wala tishni ya khamala khaja ado hamasana khache khanale khamaya jiketo khata ke ado khate jiketo khatselekhe khana ta khatata e chon a asona khayinetle adon dal nishite do khana ani da ishin khayinetlo e bahinne ado pat besinta nishidan o njoni na beneshten khasna on chon be khatkhaya hot ele ado hashit eshin sani his twitter educator khayinetli da dole doshle is do lista nemina hotlon ya akonda aje ado yego bichchol no she at chokwe e khastke ot aha tsiddo khosi o khayu so chuto shayine lida oshin chotole Arabic e khada not do khapone lingo. Just because you're not being supported or you're not being acknowledged by the people that are negative, don't entertain it. Just put it aside, let it go. Work on your goals over here. Inspirational muse, Olya. To find your inspirational muse is to motivate yourself by going to the person that is your hero or someone you look up to. Having a muse is important because your mind sees that someone just like you accomplished something similar. This will motivate you. And I put this example in because I was talking about shearing over the weekend. If our elders shear over 20 sheep in a day, that should motivate me. The family, we are motivated to shear over 20. So we sheared, how many was it? 20, 29, 31, that's it, yeah. So that motivated us. So my inspirational muse was looking up to mom, grandma. She's the one we looked up to. She knows that we can accomplish it. We've done it. We finished it. Okay, now that's complete. Let's do another goal, which is planting. We have a goal to prepare our budget packets, which is coming up. It's best to be over-prepared than under-prepared. So get that going. If we've done it last year, the year before, we can make it better this year. So that's going to your inspirational muse. But you know what? We already have this. So you already have this. You already have all this motivational techniques. But why do we ask to go to a training out in Vegas, Albuquerque, Texas, to go to a motivational training while we can motivate ourselves here on the Navajo Nation? Next, some techniques. Do work you love. Do work you love. If you hate your job, leave it. Find something you love to do. Find your passion. Move your body. Do some jumping jacks. Do exercise. We did some breathing today. And move your body. Plan your weekend. Looking forward to the weekend will just motivate you to work hard. Clear your workspace. Clean it. Organize it. Just no Dila opesha all ala. Doshi but or the landle heshi, and Juno had that edge article but for Deslini holla. Use breathing techniques. We did this exercise. Breathing techniques. Naatsi hot. Create your quote. You all can create a quote. I want you to send me a quote. I'm going to challenge you. Send me a quote. This quote is going to be yours. Condition your mind with positivity. I want you to create that quote. Let our own Navajo people have their own quotes. Shampoo, auto conditioner, the baji, conditioner, bankan junahashi, and tola hatsi ilya. Condition your mind, junon, tola adili, autobot city, because this is going to be my quote. And send it to me, Division of Human Resource Director. I want to hear your quotes. And then you get acknowledged for us to use your quotes. Don't be afraid of fears. They're not there to scare you. They're there to let you know that something is worth it. Success comes your way after you stop making excuses. Success comes your way after you stop making excuses. And I think success comes when you stop complaining and talk about solutions. Understanding, we're already doing this. Comprehend by having knowledge of the topic. Then there are positive and negative facts. Kwaja yat ehita adonaye askhona ishin pana ntini do beyeti kwajonj adonaye dir is khandenit anido nidos sana shato etene shache e kwajon shache e naye cho edo be khandenit ho wana mazin da amanan oh you go men ntin. So if you identify all the key positive facts, you have a better understanding. Demonstrate by mastering your skills to gain confidence. Not until what benahot intino itiji nilo yat e shaw dila ice nila alan hitnit ela janini holaya. Ada heda yalti o pajo is on jana. Allah the beck was hanne. Hadja eben yehi wallo. Jono is the aton jono is the aton jono ye yalti ole. Haishi to what ego heshi kota hatato de do what eda hasni hiki When you're in a disagreement, I always say use your I statement. If you disagree with somebody, I disagree because this is how I feel. I need for you to do this, and I will do this. Shana, Shayar, Shatilit, Shamayaja, Shadeja, the Traholia, Keena Atsihi, all Yeshikado Shadina. Knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge out of wisdom. Is wisdom better than knowledge? Wisdom is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is just a tool, whether it is good or bad. Wisdom is knowing how to use the tools to achieve the good ends. Anyone can gain knowledge, but wisdom is earned through experience. When you talk about certain things, yeah, you understand, you have knowledge of it. Be touched the gato, be what's sango, wisdom will yeah. I used to be touched the yago, I don't nete, jo nishik shidene. Ado na ha nitskago on champinesh nadi ahashna ko o transhi do nasko net nit beshin da hasne do had da 2-3 hours. These trainings are like more 2 to 3 hour training, but these trainings are webinar series, just like brief introductions, like 45 to an hour. You know, if you want to do some training, request for training, go through our staff development and the AD non-social being certificate, professional development. I'm in strong support of continuing education, professional development. I want my people to learn more. You don't need to go way out there for training. You have a lot of good leaders that can train our own people and start our own quotes here within the Navajo Nation and share. We have a lot of experienced people, educators all over. Ani hisha ani hit the nesha edo the Hassan. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I appreciate doing these series. I love my job. I love human resources. It's always having the humility in people, understanding people. And I want to keep saying that my job is to put human back in human resources. I thank you. Have a great day, great rest of the week. We were going to enjoy your summers. Those are all coming up. And have a blessed day. Do Shiyaj Ajashin and Chahamana Shleto Lehwat Nahyat Nikido, Ms. Kruger, Raphael, and especially thank you to the Office of the President and Vice President Tilido Shiyaj. Ado Tilate the Notlini Nikido Yahwat, Yego adopt what the pay adopt a jod Nikit the Nepe, tree adopt hit, Sadia Ahi be Yadopt hit. Ad Oshadano Sinin, Hajo eta Leto, Juno, Nikina Nishbana, and not lead on Leto, but Hanada, I not know that of ne, na here, where Hakone.
Thank you for that, Dr. Fowler, and thank you for those who attended this webinar this morning. And again, thank you to Shar and President Nez for those encouraging words as well. Just a quick reminder before we close up, for those who registered for today's event, please check your email and complete the post-webinar survey. We definitely appreciate your feedback. For anything else, you're more than welcome to contact our office or email us. We thank you for joining us throughout this webinar series. And again, it is in support of your capacity as individuals within the Navajo Nation workforce, as well as in recognition of these initiatives such as the National Mental Health Awareness Month. We definitely hope that you take the time to reflect and to understand one another within your particular workplace and as a team. And as always, stay safe, and we shall see you around, and have a great